Hey guys, and welcome back to Morgs Menu. So we are officially back in the apron, back in my kitchen to film another cooking video. It's been a while, but I'm excited to be back. And today we're going to be making homemade egg rolls. I love egg rolls. I have to always order like the combo meal when I order takeout from Chinese places because I just love them so much. So I've already made a egg roll in a bowl recipe that I do for meal preps. That's in a video of a while back, but this time we're going to be making egg rolls in the air fryer, and I'm super excited to show you how they turn out. Alright, so we'll start by going over the ingredients that you'll need. So number one, you'll obviously need some egg roll wrappers. These are just they're actually vegan, but they're just egg roll wrappers I found in my produce section of my grocery store, just a normal grocery store. I didn't have to go to an Asian market or anything like that. You'll also want whatever protein of choice. So I'm going to be using ground pork, but you could really use any ground meats. You could use pulled meat if you prefer it that way, tofu, whatever you want to do. You can pretty much just, as long as you season it similar, it's going to come to a similar taste. And I'm also going to be adding in this coleslaw mix because I normally would add like cabbage and carrots, but this already has it in it and it's already cut for me, so I'm just going to do it this way. But you want to kind of just add in cabbage and whatever veggies you like. I would definitely suggest carrots for a good crunch, and then I'm also going to be adding in some green onion. And then the rest is kind of just like for the seasoning and flavor. So I'm going to be using a combo of soy sauce and coconut aminos. You could just do one or the other if that's all you have. I just like the combo because it makes it a little less salty and a little less sodium by kind of switching some of this. And then I'll also be using some sesame oil. This just gives it a really good flavor. And then I'll also be just throwing in some garlic and ginger. Again, you can do fresh if you have it, but I'm being lazy today and just using up the stuff that's already pre-minced for me. And then lastly are just spices. So I'm just going to use some salt and pepper and a little red pepper flake for some spice, but you could add more stuff if you wanted, but really kind of just the salt and pepper to bring all the flavors together. First thing you're going to want to do is get everything cooked. So that's going to be inside the egg roll wrapper itself. So we'll start by putting a pan on at around medium heat and start browning our ground pork. You're going to cook this like you cook any other ground meat. Just kind of break it up and let it start to brown. Once it's almost fully cooked, you can go ahead and add in your cabbage mix and your carrots if you're using those. So I'm going to use this entire bag with 1 pound of ground pork, just so you know for ratio. So I'm just going to add this in there, and this only takes a couple minutes to cook down. So as this is kind of cooking down, I'm then going to add in all of my other seasonings. About maybe a tablespoon of sesame oil, a tablespoon each of the coconut aminos and soy sauce. Again, probably about maybe just under a tablespoon of ginger and maybe a couple cloves of minced garlic. Again, maybe somewhere around 1 to 2 tablespoons, kind of just depending on what you want your flavor to be. And then top it off with our salt and pepper, and then again, just a couple shakes of this red pepper flakes. You can add more or less if you want it to be spicy or not. So I'll toss in my green onions that I've just kind of diced on the side. And then I'll go ahead and just stir everything together, make sure all the flavors combine. And once the pork is fully done and the cabbage and everything has started to wilt and starting to soften up, you're good to go. And then you can just set this aside and let it cool for a little while, and then we'll start making the egg rolls. So by no means am I an expert in this, but I wanted to just kind of show you guys how I do this. It holds them together and does well in the air fryer. So you just kind of want to lay it almost like you're laying down a diamond shape and fill it not too full. It's better to kind of have less and add more as you go, as you can see how much the wrapper can actually hold. But you want to start by folding the bottom up, so the bottom corner up, and then fold in both sides. And then you kind of roll it, so then the top little triangle corner is kind of sticking out of the top. And then you want to dampen that with just a little water. You can just do that with your finger, and then roll it so the water will kind of keep it stick together so it doesn't burst open in the air fryer. And then you just want to keep repeating this until you've used up all of your filling. And then from here, you're just going to air fry them. So I'm going to start by just spraying a little nonstick spray on the bottom of my air fryer just to be safe. And I'm going to place these down steam side down so that they don't pop open again in the air fryer. And I'm gonna cook these around 375, about 5 minutes per each side. So I'm gonna flip them halfway through and kind of see where they're at there. And I'll let you know at the end kind of how long it actually took. All right, so we have the final product here. So they came out really nice and crispy. I'd say compared to like an egg roll you get from takeout that's clearly deep fried, and they're not quite that crispy, but for the air fryer, they're pretty crispy. I'm excited to try them. They smell delicious. This did end up making 10 total for the amount of stuff I used. So if you're making this for a group of people, I still think you could do this, especially if you're just doing it as a side. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it and see. They have been cooling for quite a while because these feel very, very hot because I did have to leave them in the air fryer. I did 5 minutes per side, and then I did another 4 minutes. I flipped them a third time, so back to the original side. So they did go in for about 14 minutes total. So you could probably do 7 minutes per each side instead. They were done, but they weren't quite like browned and crispy yet. And I would definitely spray them with a little oil. I forgot to do that when I originally put them in. So I did that kind of when I flipped them, and then I did that with the second batch, and that definitely was better. So spray them and leave them in for slightly longer than I said before, but we're gonna go ahead and try them out. So I'm gonna try them plain, but I'll probably eat them with this little yum yum sauce. So try them plain first. Yeah, that's good. I really, really like that. Yeah, very similar taste, I'd say, very similar flavors. It's not super salty, so you can maybe do a little more soy sauce or a little more like salty flavors if you want. I was just worried about making it too saucy, but honestly, it's really good, and I'm really excited to dip it in here and eat these. So I definitely recommend these. I'll definitely post all the ingredients that I use down below, but feel free to ask me any questions in the comments or anything like that. If you have any recipes that you want me to try, leave those in the comments as well. I'm looking for new ideas so I can keep filming and keep content coming. So as always, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well for more content and smaller videos throughout the week. I did a lot of testing of the Trader Joe's items that I put in my last haul, so definitely check that out. If you're new to my channel, make sure you also subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the future videos now on Thursdays and Sundays. Thanks again for watching Morgs Menu, and I hope you have a great day. Bye guys.